What if I told you that Marvel had one Easter egg that was bigger than all the rest? Something they had seeded into the very first film. And as the MCU grew out of control with its narrative, so did this Easter egg, leading us to one inevitable conclusion. Today we're going to break down Tony Stark's left arm, the MCU's, and by extension Avengers Endgame, biggest Easter egg, the last chance to wrap up this one thing they've been trying to tell us is going to happen since Iron Man 1. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could hit the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment on this video, and then stick around for the end of the video. I'll be announcing the winner of the 150,000 subscriber PlayStation 4 Pro, as well as get into all the giveaway stuff again moving forward. Now, the idea of Tony's arm started to make its way around the internet, both Reddit and Quora, other forums alike, some places reporting it as news, about some 2 or 3 years ago, between the time of Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming, when fans really began to notice this point of contention in many of Iron Man's scenes. Remember, we're talking about a guy who in his first movie alone took a shrapnel blast to the chest, survived falling out of the sky at full speed in his cave-made Mark I, then hits a concrete panel at full blast during flight testing, gets blown out of the sky with tank artillery that directly hits his left arm, and this is all within the first hour of his very first movie. Now, Iron Man has been on screen for 8 MCU films. There's the 3 Iron Man films, the 3 Avengers films, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Captain America Civil War. And seldom have Marvel let the opportunity slip for them to go ahead and show you his left arm as an Easter egg. In fact, this picture right here is from Iron Man 1, with an ice pack notably on his left shoulder and arm. And it doesn't stop there. If you blinked, you might have missed this one in Iron Man 2. If you remember, right after Tony's able to put this suit on, Whiplash hits his left arm about 3 or 4 times before they flash to 10 frames of inside Tony Stark's HUD. Now you'll see there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Tony's left arm is clearly lit up red from where he's just sustained damage from Whiplash. Now before you say, but hey, that's the right arm, remember that's Tony Stark's HUD oriented inside his mask for him to look at, which means from our angle, the screen is reversed. That is actually Tony's left arm when he's looking at it, not his right from our side. Now, as the movies roll on, so does Tony Stark's damage, both mentally and physically. Iron Man focusing on the emotional stress of him becoming a superhero and the PTSD of Avengers 1, but going deeper into Civil War when more physical damage starts to be sustained to his left arm directly. In fact, he even says, "My left arm is numb." Is that normal? Only to have a ton of cars dropped on him and directly on his left arm later by Scarlet Witch. The idea here is that as the stories began to progress and Marvel got a foothold into this universe they had built out, they were able to really ramp up the indications that Tony's left arm is in severe, severe trouble, leading all the way up to the most recent iterations in Homecoming, where he can clearly be seen nursing it. And then famously in Infinity War, when his left arm armor is broken off by Thanos and used to impale him moments later. Now, while this Easter egg was noticed by a lot of people and enumerated in several places on the internet, I didn't want to take anybody's word for it, and I exhaustively combed through all the movies in which Tony Stark was in to find every piece of evidence I could that he was taking damage to his left arm. But at some point, that became completely redundant, as the pattern had more than established itself, and the greater picture started to become clear. The idea that this was an Easter egg Marvel had been seeding since the very first movie, something they had wanted us to see, and became more and more bold and pointed out, even to the point of dialogue by Tony Stark himself. This was something Marvel wanted us to see, something that had great implications, but what could it be? Simply Tony Stark sustaining a ton of damage to his left arm. Well guys, it starts with a question, and that question to you is, what arm do you wear the Infinity Gauntlet on? If you remember, at the end of Infinity War, the Russos went out of their way, and then later confirmed in interviews, to show us that Thanos' left arm all the way up to his chest had sustained major damage as a subsequent side effect to the snap. So had the gauntlet for that matter, but Thanos himself physically sustained a ton of damage to his otherwise completely undamaged left arm. What would happen if Tony Stark were to put the Infinity Gauntlet on and use it to unsnap the snap? Now, when it comes to comic book precedent, everybody's had a shot at wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Everyone from Nebula all the way to the Incredible Hulk. And I recently did a video on the Hulk wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, merely based on the fact that he's the only one big enough to fit the gauntlet itself. If you remember, he mirrors Thanos in size, so his hand and arm would actually fit the gauntlet. But here we are, a decade into a cinematic universe pointing at a main protagonist's left arm, with the only correlation being the most major event that has ever happened in that cinematic universe coming at the hands of somebody else's left arm. It's kind of hard to miss the correlation, and the truth be told, a lot of people have assumed that Captain America is going to make some sort of sacrifice and or die during this movie. Ruling him out is the only other obvious option to pay off as the unsnapper. Tony Stark, throughout these movies, has been a linchpin, both as an actor to the movies in the cinematic universe, but also as the face of the franchise, starting the whole thing off. It's only fitting that he will be rewarded with the chance to wield the Infinity Gauntlet and unsnap Thanos' snap, with the greater implication being that he will probably lose his left arm in the process and end up with one something like the Winter Soldier, but of course for someone named Iron Man, that would only be fitting. Now, the most skeptical of you will be like, yeah, but maybe that's just it, right? The Easter egg itself is that his left arm is being damaged. And you may want to ignore the correlation between the most major event ever taking place in the MCU coming at the hands of a left arm tied to one of the most important characters' left arm that they've been seeding for a decade. I get that, but I want to harken back to something in the beginning, like the opening scene, the very first Avenger we ever see on screen is Tony Stark in the back of the Humvee right before he gets captured. And when we first see our first Avenger, it's not their face or their eyes, it's not them from afar, but rather it opens with Tony Stark's left hand and arm. The very first time we ever see an Avenger on screen, it's Tony Stark, and it's specifically his left hand. The same hand he'll be wearing the Infinity Gauntlet on when he unsnaps Thanos' snap, and the same hand, and by extension arm, he's going to lose in the process. Now guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this what this Easter egg means? I mean, everybody's seen it, but no one wants to make the claim. Does this make irrefutable proof that he's going to wield an Infinity Gauntlet either of his own making or with Eitree's help during Avengers Endgame? If you don't think he's the one to wield it, okay, I'm with you. Let me know in the comments who you think it is, and if he's not the one to wield the Infinity Gauntlet and you think it's something else, then I'm excited to hear your take, and leave in the comments why you think they've been specifically showing us Tony Stark's left arm taking damage for the better part of 10 years. Now quickly, let me get into the giveaway stuff, including the winner of the 150,000 subscriber PlayStation 4 Pro. For all of you guys who have been with me since the beginning, I can't thank you enough. For the more recent joiners to the channel, as we are growing at an exponential rate, I cannot thank you enough for your support as well. I use a randomizer to pick the winner. The winner of the PlayStation 4 Pro for the 150,000 subscribers is Patrick Garrett. Please contact me, DM me via Instagram so I can get your details and get that out to you. Also, let's get into the giveaway stuff for those of you who are still sticking around. Okay, so we're giving away 2 more PlayStation 4 Pros, one at the 200 and one at the 300,000 subscriber mark. All you have to do to win those, or this awesome Avengers 1 commemorative plaque. This is a Marvel Trendsetters limited edition, limited run 2500 plaque, each plaque containing 10 original film cells from the first Avengers movies. This thing is super cool. Can't find them anywhere. I've got mine from the Marvel Studios store in Universal Studios. If you want to win this, or the PlayStations, or any of the other Marvel stuff that we release here at the channel in the coming months, all you got to do, same rules apply. Hit the subscribe button, then leave a like and a comment on this video, then hit the notification bell, because the more videos that you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Also guys, I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you. You guys DM me, let me know your theories and what you're thinking. You guys have been super cool, and this has become so much more than I ever could have expected, and it is something awesome in the universe that one of my favorite things to do is talk about the MCU and write theories, and now that I get to share them with you guys and all the best fans in the world, you guys are super insightful, you're thoughtful, you're awesome, and I gotta say it has been a pleasure to do this for y'all, and I will continue to. And to all of you, whomever you are out there, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're hustling for your family, hustling for yourself, trying to take your business to the next level, trying to take your business to a level, trying to take yourself to a level, put your head down, power through, and do it. There's no one standing between you and the future you want but yourself. And I'm living proof right now. If you start a YouTube channel and you just keep going at it, things can happen, and that can happen for you no matter who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. Put your head down, power through, and I promise if you make it, the universe will yield for you and give you everything you want. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Thanks for checking out the channel. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.